Welcome students. In this class, we are going to discuss Tintin in Tibet, which is the 20th volume of The Adventures of Tintin, the comic series by Belgian cartoonist Archie. The story revolves around the young reporter Tintin, his dog Snowy, and his best friend Captain Haddock. It was serialized weekly from September 1958 to November 1959 in Tintin magazine and published as a book in 1960. Tintin is written by R.J., whose original name was George Prosper Remy. He was a Belgian cartoonist. Bernard Hubelmans gave R.J. a book inscribing on the inside the suggestion that one day Tintin should meet the Yeti. And it is this encounter that we see in this graphic novel, Tintin in Tibet. Tintin in Tibet is a milestone to Franco-Belgian comics. And in this slide, you can see the principal characters in Tintin comics. Tintin, his dog, Snowy. There is Captain Haddock. There is Professor Calculus. There is Bianca Castafiore. There is Thompson and Thompson. Though in this text, we don't find Bianca Castafiore, but the other characters, Tintin and Snowy and Captain Haddock, are here. At the outset, I would like to discuss the story in brief, or the synoptic analysis of R.J.'s Tintin in Tibet. The story begins with Tintin on holiday in the French Alps with his friends. He has a strange dream about his Chinese friend, Chang, whom he saved in an earlier adventure, the Blue Lotus. Chang appears to be in distress and calling for help from a snowstorm. The next day, Tintin reads a news report about a plane crash in the Himalayas and recognizes Chang among the list of passengers. Despite the official news that all passengers were killed, Tintin believes Chang has survived. Spurred by his dream and undeterred by the skepticism of others, Tintin, along with Snowy and Captain Haddock, embarks on a rescue mission to Tibet. Their journey is filled with challenges, including a hazardous flight, an avalanche, and encounter with the mythical Yeti. Despite the harsh realities and dangerous encounters, Tintin's unwavering belief in his friend's survival keeps them going. In the end, they find Chang, who has been saved and cared for by the Yeti in a cave. The Yeti, misunderstood and feared, is portrayed sympathetically as a lonely creature craving companionship. After a tearful goodbye to the Yeti, Tintin, Haddock, and a recovered Chang return home. So, in a sense, Tintin in Tibet is a story of friendship and faith. Now, after having discussed the story in brief, we shall discuss Tintin as a graphic novel. And Tintin in Tibet is a classic example of the graphic novel format. Here, the protagonist, Tintin, embarks on a rescue mission to the Himalayas after having a vivid dream about his friend Chang being in danger. But apart from this theme of friendship, as a graphic novel, this text deserves mention. It uses sequential art to tell the story with a combination of illustrations and dialogue, along with other visual cues such as the iconic thought bubbles. The artwork is detailed and expressive, capturing the vast and treacherous landscapes of the Himalayas. Arj's signature style, known as ligne claire, that means clear line in English, is evident throughout the book. You can see the some of the examples of this linear clear style. Okay, it means the clear lines. Okay, that is evident throughout the book, characterized by the strong lines of uniform importance, clear colors, and the absence of hatching. Moreover, the graphic novel format allows RJ to drive the narrative both through text and visual imagery, creating a dynamic storytelling experience. For instance, the fear and determination of the characters are not just told through words, but shown through their facial expressions and body language. Arj's color palette in Tintin in Tibet is also noteworthy. The stark white of the Himalayan snow against the deep blue of the sky is a striking visual motif that underscores the harsh, unforgiving, yet majestic nature of the environment in which Tintin and his friends find themselves. You can see the cover page of Tintin in Tibet. You can see the color palette, the stark white of the Himalayan snow that is showcased in the cover page. So, this choice of color enhances the mood of the story and contribute to the reader's emotional engagement. In terms of narrative technique, RJ employs a blend of action, suspense, humor, and emotion to create a compelling and engaging story. The plot is tightly structured, with each event leading naturally to the next, and the pacing is expertly controlled to maintain the reader's interest throughout. RJ also makes effective use of visual and verbal humor to lighten the tone and provide comic relief. The interactions between Tintin's dog Snowy and the abrasive Captain Haddock in particular are a source of much of the book's humor. Next, we would discuss some of the important issues discussed in this text. First of all, the autobiographical elements that one can find in Tintin in Tibet. It is important to note that the plot of Tintin in Tibet deviates significantly from the action packed adventures commonly associated with the Tintin series. Instead, it focuses on friendship and personal struggle, which were themes that RJ was grappling with in his own life. At the time of writing Tintin in Tibet, RJ was going through a period of personal crisis. He was dealing with the marital problems, alcoholic dependence, and was undergoing psychoanalysis. He had also been plagued by recurring nightmares featuring vast, empty, white landscapes. These personal struggles and the theme of a white, blank canvas can be seen reflected in the snowy, desolate landscapes of Tintin in the comic. The story is centered on the friendship between Tintin and Chang, which is based on which is based on Urge's real-life friend, a Chinese artist, Zhang. In the story, Tintin goes on a perilous journey to find Zhang, who is presumed dead following a plane crash in the Himalayas. So this plotline can be seen as a reflection of Arj's own feelings of isolation and his longing for true friendship during this difficult period in his life. In this work, RJ also explores themes of faith, mysticism, and dreams, elements that were part of his own introspective journey at the time. For instance, Tintin's search for Chang is initiated by a dream, and the story features the mythical Yeti, a creature that is traditionally associated spiritually with spirituality and mysticism in Tibetan culture. So you can see that Tintin in Tibet may not be strictly autobiographical in the traditional sense, yet certainly it contains elements that reflect RJ's personal life and emotional state during the period it was created. And this makes it one of the most intimate and personal works in the Tintin series. Mention must be made of the presentation of Tintin. Tintin is the titular protagonist in Arge's series of comic albums, and Tintin in Tibet is one of the most emotionally rich entries in the series. Tintin is portrayed as a young Belgian reporter of an indefinable age who is brave, loyal, resourceful. He embodies qualities of heroism, humanitarianism, and steadfast dedication to pursuing the truth. So, in Tintin in Tibet, these traits are particularly foregrounded. Tintin's determination to find his friend who is believed to have died is a testament to his loyalty and dogged determination. Despite the harsh climate and discouragement, discouragement from his friends, Tintin remains unwavering in his conviction that Chang is alive. So Tintin's character in this installment is also notable for his compassion. He is deeply empathetic and kind even towards the Yeti, who is initially perceived as a threat but is ultimately revealed to be a lonely creature who saved Chang from the plane crash. Tintin's ability to see beyond the surface and understand the Yeti's loneliness and fear reflects his depth of character. Lastly, Tintin's intelligence and resourcefulness are evident throughout the story. He uses his quick thinking and problem solving skills to navigate the challenging terrain and situations they encounter in the Himalayas. Apart from the titular character, we can discuss the role of Chang in Tintin in Tibet. The character of Chang plays a vital role in this graphic novel, Tintin in Tibet. Chang is an old friend of Tintin, who was first introduced in the story, The Blue Lotus. In Tintin in Tibet, Chang is a central figure around whom the entire plot revolves. At the outset of the book, Tintin has a dream in which Chang is in danger after a plane crash in the Himalayas. Despite the news reports declaring no survivors, Tintin, driven by his dream and his instinct, sets out to rescue Chang. This sets the stage for the adventure that takes Tintin, Haddock, and Snowy on a perilous journey through the treacherous terrains of the Himalayas. Chang in this text is a symbol of innocence, symbol of friendship. His perceived peril invokes a sense of duty and loyalty in Tintin, who refuses to believe his friend is dead and embarks on a seemingly impossible mission to find him. This loyalty and determination are reciprocated by Chang, who, despite his dire situation, never loses hope that Tintin will come to his rescue. Furthermore, Chang's role is critical in the encounter with the Yeti, the legendary abominable snowman of the Himalayas. The Yeti, who saved Chang from the plane crash and took care of him, is portrayed as a gentle creature capable of empathy, affection, contrary to the monstrous image. So Chang, in Tintin in Tibet, serves as a catalyst for the adventure, a symbol of enduring friendship and a bridge between different worlds, the human and the mythical. Next, we will discuss the role of Yeti in Arge's Tintin in Tibet. Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman, plays a crucial role in this narrative. The Yeti is a misunderstood creature, feared by the locals due to its large size and reclusive nature. However, it is not a villain, but rather a lonely and gentle creature, much more than the monstrous entity it is often depicted as in popular culture. The Yeti is shown as the rescuer of Chang, Tintin's friend who survives a plane crash in the Himalayas but ends up lost and injured in the snowy wilderness. The Yeti finds Chang in the wreckage and, showing compassion, takes care of him in his cave, providing him with food and shelter. So, the Yeti's role in this story serves to challenge our preconceived notions and stereotypes. It is feared and misunderstood because it is different and reclusive. But it shows kindness and compassion to Chang, a stranger in its territory. So this challenges the binary thinking of us versus them, human versus monster, and highlights the importance of empathy and understanding. So, in a broader sense, the Yeti can be seen as a symbol of the misunderstood. Its role in the narrative encourages readers to question their assumptions and to approach the unknown with curiosity and empathy rather than fear. This is the central theme of Tintin in Tibet. Apart from this, the theme of friendship is central to Arge's graphic novel, and this is not just evident in the enduring partnership between Tintin and his loyal dog Snowy, but also in the lengths to which Tintin goes to find his friend Chang. In the story, Tintin dreams that his young friend Chang is in danger, and this text shows the loyalty, the selflessness, and determination, the great that the true friendship can inspire. Tintin's decision to risk his life in the harsh, unforgiving landscape of the Himalayas demonstrates the depth of his friendship with Chang. This theme is further emphasized or highlighted in the way Tintin persists in his belief that Chang is alive, even when others doubt him. So his steadfast faith in his friend is a powerful depiction of the strength of their bond. Moreover, the friendship between Tintin and Captain Haddock also plays a significant role in the story. Despite Haddock's initial reluctance, he accompanies Tintin on his risky mission, showcasing the solidarity and support that is often found in strong friendships. Tintin in Tibet is a unique installment in the beloved Tintin series, notable for its departure from the typical action packed narratives. Instead, it is a story of friendship set against the backdrop of the Tibetan landscape. The oriental setting is beautifully rendered with arches, meticulous research into the region, evident in the detailed depictions of the Himalayan mountains, Tibetan monasteries, and the local customs and traditions. The harsh conditions of the Himalayas, with its beating cold, treacherous crevasses, unpredictable weather, serve as an obstacle that Tintin and his companions must overcome in their quest to find Tintin's friend, Chang. The setting also contributes to the spiritual undertone of the story. Tintin actually undertakes a journey where he actually encounters this Buddhist tradition. And Tibet, known for its strong Buddhist traditions, serves as a backdrop for themes of faith, compassion, and the power of friendship. The Yeti, a creature of Tibetan folklore, plays a significant role in the story, further emphasizing the cultural and spiritual elements of the setting. Despite the exoticism of the setting, RJ avoids the pitfall of Orientalism by treating the Tibetan culture with respect, with venerance, with with respect and with a veneration. The local characters are portrayed as kind and helpful. Their religious beliefs and cultures and customs are depicted with sensitivity. So, the Oriental setting in Tintin in Tibet is not just a backdrop for the story, but a character in its own right. It is a testament to Arja's skill as a storyteller that he could weave such a rich tapestry of culture and spirituality into a comic book, creating a story that is as profound as it is entertaining. Next, we shall look at some of the important symbols discussed in this graphic novel. The primary symbol is the symbol of Yeti. Yeti is a symbol of the unknown, symbol of the feared. Yeti is feared by the local people and is considered to be a monster. However, in reality, the Yeti is shown to be a creature capable of kindness, empathy, as seen when it rescues and cares for Chang. This symbolizes that fear and misunderstanding often come from ignorance. And the unknown is not always harmful, the unknown is not always dangerous. Another prominent symbol is the symbol of dream. The dream Tintin has about Chang being in danger is a significant symbol in the story. It symbolizes Tintin's deep friendship and connection with Chang, as well as his intuition. The dream serves as a catalyst for Tintin's journey to Tibet, driven by his concern for his friend. Another symbol is the white landscape. The vast white landscape of Tibet can be seen as a symbol of isolation, emptiness, and the daunting task that Tintin and his companions face in their search for Chang. The harsh and unforgiving environment represents the obstacles they have to overcome. The Buddhist monastery is a symbol of spirituality, wisdom, and peace. It is in the monastery that Tintin and his friends find solace and help in their journey. So these symbols add depth to the story and help to convey the themes of friendship, fear of the unknown, and the power of faith and intuition. Another important theme that we can discuss here that we can consider Tintin in Tibet through the prism of travel narrative. It follows the adventures of the young reporter Tintin and his loyal dog Snowy as they journey to the Himalayas in search of their friend Chang. And the narrative is structured around the journey, which is a classic element of travel literature. The characters traverse diverse landscapes, from the bustling streets of Europe to the desolate, snow covered peaks of the Himalayas, meeting a variety of characters along the way. And each new location presents its own unique challenges and mysteries, which Tintin and his companions must overcome and solve in order to continue their journey. In the tradition of travel narratives, Tintin in Tibet also explores the theme of the other and the unfamiliar. The characters are thrust into an environment that is radically different from their own, and they must navigate cultural differences, language barriers, and unfamiliar customs. For example, they encounter local monks and yepis, elements that are exotic to the European protagonist. Yet, unlike many travel narratives that often exoticize and stereotype the other, Arj's work is notable for its respectful and sensitive portrayal of Tibetan culture. Tintin and his companions approach the locals with curiosity and respect, and the narrative emphasizes the shared humanity that transcends cultural differences. Finally, like many travel narratives, Tintin in Tibet is also a journey of self discovery. Tintin's determination to find Chang, despite the odds, reflects his loyalty. It reflects his loyalty and bravery. So, the harsh conditions of the Himalayas test the character's physical and mental strength, revealing their true characters and teaching them about their own capabilities and values. So, this graphic novel employs many of the classic elements of travel narratives, including the journey structure, the exploration of the unfamiliar, and the theme of self discovery. In the next slide, you can see some of the panels which RJ had made and some of the original pictures which are given side by side. So you can see that the kind of amount of research that had gone into the making of the graphic novel. These are some of the instances. Then, Tintin in Tibet can also be approached through the lens of post colonialism. A post colonial reading of Tintin could focus on the representation of Tintin and its people, the portrayal of the Western characters, and the power dynamics between the two. RJ's depiction of the Tibet is largely exoticized with a focus on the mystic, the spiritual aspects of Tibetan culture. The Tibetan people are portrayed as simple, peaceful, deeply spiritual, living in harmony with nature. So, this can be seen as a form of Orientalism. I hope you are aware of this term. You can read Edward Said's book. So, this form of Orientalism, where Eastern cultures are often romanticized, essentialized, thereby reinforcing a sense of Western superiority. And we can approach this text from its portrayal of the Western characters. Tintin, the protagonist, is the embodiment of the Western rationality, Western heroism. He embarks on a quest to save his friend, navigating through the challenges, navigating through such the challenging terrains of the Himalayas and encountering several dangers along the way. So this reinforces the narrative of Western heroism and the white savior complex, where the Western character is portrayed as a hero who saves the other. There is also the power dynamics in this text. The power dynamics are largely skewed in favor of the Western characters. Tintin, Haddock, Professor Calculus are often depicted as superior or more enlightened than the Tibetan characters. So this can be seen as a reflection of the colonial mindset, which views the colonizer as superior to the colonized. However, it is worth mentioning that Tintin in Tibet is one of the more respectful versions or depictions of the non-Western cultures in the entire Tintin series. And RJ reportedly did a good deal of research to ensure the accurate portrayal of Tibetan culture. This suggests an attempt to break away from the more blatantly racist and colonial depictions seen in earlier Tintin adventures. So while Tintin in Tibet can be read as a post-colonial text that reinforces certain colonial tropes, power dynamics, it also shows signs of progress and cultural respect compared to earlier entries in the series. Apart from this, we can also approach Tintin in Tibet through the prism of post-humanism. Post-humanism is a philosophical perspective that challenges the traditional human-centric understanding and embraces a more complex relationship between humans, animals, and technology. It is a broad and complex field that encompasses many different theories and approaches, but in general, it seeks to decenter the human and instead focus on the interconnectedness of all beings. In the context of Tintin debate, a post-humanist reading might focus on several elements. For starters, The story is fundamentally about Tintin's quest to find his friend Chang, who is lost in the Himalayas after a plane crash. And this quest is driven by empathy and friendship. Emotions not exclusive to human beings. Through this narrative, RJ emphasizes the importance of relationships and connections, not just between humans, but also between humans and animals. The character of Snowy, Tintin's dog, is a prime example of non human agency in the storyline. Snowy often saves the day or contributes significantly to the resolution of the plot, suggesting that non human characters can be just as important and influential as humans are. So, this could be interpreted as a post humanist perspective, as it blurs the boundary between human and animal and challenges the anthropocentric view that humans are the most important beings on earth. Furthermore, the Yeti, a mythical creature that bridges the gap between humans and animals, plays a crucial role in the story. The Yeti saves and cares for Chang, showing a level of empathy and compassion that is traditionally associated with humanity. This again challenges the human animal binary and suggests a more complex, interconnected relationship between all human beings. So, a post humanist reading of Tintin in Tibet might focus on the ways in which the story challenges or subverts the traditional human centric perspectives and emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings, both human and non human. It might also consider the ways in which the story blurs the boundaries between human and animal, suggesting a more complex understanding of what it means to be a being in the world. So, in the last panel of this graphic novel, as you can see here on the screen, the remark of Chang to Tintin underscores the central theme of this graphic novel, where Chang says, "You know, I hope they never succeed in finding him." He's talking about Yeti. So they would treat him like some wild animal. I tell you, Tintin, from the way he took care of me, I couldn't help wondering if deep down he hadn't a human soul. So, this is the moment of self discovery. This is the anachronistic moment. This is the moment of knowledge. And it subverts the traditional stereotypes associated with the typical travel narratives. So, with this, I will stop here, and in next class, I will discuss some of the more important themes and also some other angles, some other lens through which we can approach this graphic novel. Thank you, everyone.